Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Patience Ogali Chojo. And on this channel, you get a VIP seat on everything fashion, DIY, creativity, and lifestyle. On the part one of the video we drafted last week, which was a midi gown with a Basque waistline, I'm going to be leaving a link to that video down in the description box below. Today, which is going to be the part two, we are going to be drafting a trendy ruffle sleeve, and the part two will be the full sewing tutorial, which is going to be coming up after this video. Without much rambling, let's get right into today's tutorial. And if you know you've not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? The subscribe button is down here. It's actually red, free, and convenient. So please subscribe to be part of this beautiful and amazing family.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want.
We are going to be creating a sleeve I saw on HN Clothing channel. The first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be marking our sleeve length. The sleeve length I made use of here is about 15 inches plus 2-inch added for the folding allowance for the lower part. Then I'm going to be connecting the line horizontally as shown. After doing that, I'm going to be coming down from the upper part by 5 inches, and then I'm going to be extending the line towards the right hand side of the sleeve horizontally. Then from the upper left hand edge, I'm going to be making a slant line from that part to the other part of the sleeve as shown. It's going to be like a slant S. Then I'm going to be cross-checking to see if it fits the armhole measurement, which it actually did. Then I'm going to be marking it plus 1 inch sewing allowance. Now I'm going to be imputing my bicep measurement divided by 2 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. My bicep measurement is 12, so I mark 12 divided by 2 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then I'm going to be marking my mid-arm round measurement, which is 11, so I'm marking 5.5 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. After doing that, I'm going to be connecting the lines vertically as shown. Pardon me guys, because my marker actually stopped writing, so I had to improvise to use a pen, but I'm going to try as much as possible to make it visible for you guys to see. Now I'm labeling it as sleeve. Now we're going to be cutting out our pattern. At this point, we're going to be marking a line from the center point. We're going to be making a vertical line. We're going to be marking a vertical line from the upper part down to the lower part. Then we are going to be spacing it by ruling out lines sideways. We are going to be making slanty lines by taking measurement from the upper part. The first distance will be 4 inches. Then the one that is going to follow after that will be 3 inches. Then the next one 2 inches. Then from that point it will be 3 inches downwards. After marking those lines as seen, I'm going to be cutting that vertical line that we made from the upper part down to the lower part. After cutting it out, we are going to be splitting the gaps in between the lines that we made. But before that, we are going to be labeling it from 1 to 6. We will be marking the left hand side as 1A, while the right hand side will be 1B. Then we'll be marking it until we get to 6A, 6B as shown. Now we're going to be splitting from each lines. Now we're going to be placing a fresh pattern paper, and then we're going to be ruling a midpoint line. Then we're going to be connecting each of those splitted pattern from the upper point as placed. Then the first line we're going to be splitting it by 4 inches gap. After that, the next one will be 3 inches gap. Then the one after that will be 2 inches. The one after the 2 inches will be 3 inches consecutively. Then we're going to be using our tape to tape it down to the fresh pattern paper as shown. We can see that after spacing each of the pattern paper on the plain pattern paper, we use our tape to tape it down. Now we're going to be using our scissors to trace out using those lines. If you know you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button and turning on the post notification bell so you'll be updated whenever a new video is uploaded. Make sure to follow the lines accordingly. After cutting it, we can see that the pattern paper is looking like a leaf. Now we're going to be folding it downwards on top of each other by the space we left. The first part was 4 inches gap, so we're going to be placing that 4 inches on the 3 inches gap. We're going to be placing it downward to cut out the excess. Make sure to place it on each other properly and cut out the excess. Then we're going to be placing the other gap on top of the other one. Mind you, is the spacing that we left in between those lines that we are going to be pinning down to cut out the excess. As I'm doing it as shown, I'm folding the 3 inches space on top the other parts. From 4A to 6A, the pattern paper was not enough, so I had to gum them together. After doing that, we're going to be cutting it out like this. Make sure you don't cut below the lines. Now we are going to be folding the spacing we left in between the lines on top of each other as shown. So I'm folding the 4 inches space on the upper part on the next line. While I did that, we can see that the excess of the pattern paper is reflecting, so we have to cut that excess part out as I'm doing it like this. Then we're going to be placing each of the gaps that we left in between the lines on top of each other. After doing it for each of the lines, we're going to be cutting out each excess on each lines. Now we're going to be cutting the pattern paper. We're going to be cutting out the fabric using the pattern paper as shown. Mind you, every allowance has been added on the pattern paper, so there will be no need to add an extra allowance on the fabric. After doing that, we are going to be making notches at each point of the lines on the fabric using the pattern paper. The fabric underneath is 2 pieces for each of the sleeves. Make sure you don't forget to notch each point following the lines on the pattern paper. After notching each point, we are going to be pleating it upwards from the lower part to the upper part. Mind you, it is the notch points that we are going to be pleating on top of each other as shown. Don't forget to pin it down properly so you don't miss the points. Don't forget to repeat the same process on the other sleeve. After pinning it down, this is how it looks. Then we are going to be folding the 2 inches. Now we are going to be stitching each edges. We're going to be stitching it down in order for it not to unwrap. I stitched down the plate at the edge by 0.5 inch, and I also repeated the same for the other part of the sleeve. Make sure you don't forget to back stitch when you get to where the pleat stops. After doing that, this is how it looks, and then I had to hold down the pleat at the middle point by making a straight stitch.
If you know you enjoyed this tutorial and you like more of this kind of video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share your thoughts, ideas, and suggestions down in the comment section below. Follow me on social media platform on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Selling Jerry's. Until next time, I will see you, beautiful people, on the next video. But if you know you've not subscribed yet, guys, please subscribe by hitting on the subscribe button down here and turn on the post notification bell so you get updated whenever a new video is uploaded. Bye, guys. Mwah.